Never seek revenge. Rotten fruit will fall by itself. The story of Nelson Mandela. 27 years of injustice. In 1964, Nelson Mandela was sentenced to life in prison by the South African apartheid government, a system built on racial segregation and state-sponsored cruelty. He spent 27 years in a damp, tiny concrete cell, forced to do hard labor in a lime quarry that permanently damaged his eyesight. He had every reason to be the most bitter man on earth. He had lost his youth, his health, and the chance to see his children grow up. The shift from anger to strategy. While in prison, Mandela realized something profound. Hate is a burden. He understood that if he ever gained his freedom but still carried his anger, he would still be a prisoner. Instead of plotting a bloody revolution or revenge against the guards who mistreated him, he did the unthinkable. He learned their language. He wanted to understand the hearts of his enemies. He befriended his jailers. He treated them with such dignity that they eventually began to respect him, even secretly bringing him extra food or newspapers. He studied their history. He looked for the rot in the system to understand why it was failing from the inside. The rotten fruit falls. By the late 1980s, the apartheid regime was the rotten fruit. International pressure, economic sanctions, and the internal moral decay of the system made it unsustainable. The government realized they couldn't keep Mandela locked up forever without the country exploding into a civil war. When Mandela was finally released in 1990, the world expected him to call for a violent uprising to punish the white minority. Instead, he stood before a massive crowd and spoke of reconciliation, the ultimate act of forgiveness. In 1994, Mandela became the first Black president of South Africa. His actions afterward are what defined radical forgiveness. The jailer at the table. At his presidential inauguration, Mandela invited one of his former white prison guards, Christo Brand, as an honored guest. The Rugby World Cup. In 1995, he famously supported the Springboks, the national rugby team that was a symbol of white supremacy to many Black South Africans. By wearing their jersey and cheering with them, he unified a fractured nation. Truth and reconciliation. He established a commission where people could confess their crimes during apartheid and receive amnesty, choosing truth-telling over executions. The takeaway. Nelson Mandela knew that if he sought revenge, South Africa would have burned to the ground. By letting the rotten fruit of apartheid fall by itself and focusing on building a rainbow nation, he became a global icon of peace. He famously said, "Resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies."